Okay, to make this little stand, it's 1/2 inch PVC, 10 feet. You're gonna need 2 T's, one on the right, one on the left, 2 90-degree, one on the right, left and right. This leg is, well, so these little legs are 7 inches long. You're gonna do 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can cut it to any height, but this seems to work well for us. Your T is 1/2 inch. I did hot glue these inside here instead of using PVC cement, just because it's easier to pull out if needed. I ran a little bead on the edge and then shoved it in there. I did that for the legs, and then this little support here. That's the left side. Here's the right side. Same deal. We go up the top. I glued it in here, but not here to take it apart easily. I just put like a tiny little bead there to glue it in top, just to hold it. So the top piece is 32 inches long. The legs are 25. And these little extensions are 7 inches long. And then flip it over. There's these little pads, like for furniture. I just hot glued it. About 1 inch from the end is TV trays. 1 TV tray, 2 TV tray, piece of heavy duty cardboard. And then this is the first set lights. It's the same light stand. And these are grow lights. Chained it in there, and then yeah, these are grow lights, and I will show you the box. They were like 50 bucks from Home Depot. So these are our little plants, and then at the very bottom I have a electric timer, and I have it about set about 14 hours. I think it comes in at 7 to 9 p.m. 7 a.m. on, 9 p.m. off. It's Home Depot. It's a 2-foot LED. It has 3 different phases. I think we were running with white and blue for seedlings, and then we're doing with red. This was about 50 bucks. I can't remember. 40 to 50 bucks. 2 foot. So this is how it comes unboxing. Well, get over here. So we're gonna daisy chain it from the second one. Plug it in there. And then this is off right now. But as you can see, our switches, and then the on switch. So right now it is on timer. The timer just turned off. But when we did seedlings, we had to have these heat pads. We had to have these heat pads on for like a week. And then we had the cover on top. So these plastic covers, these lids here, these clear lids for our seedlings, we put the lid on. I don't have a picture, but for our little seedlings, we actually use little paper Dixie cups. And then we set it in here and then put that clear plastic on, obviously watered them, and then put them on top of this heat mat, because you need at least 80 to 90 degrees for like 7 days, 7 to 14 days, as you can see here. This we got at Walmart, maybe 25 bucks, I can't remember. But it is a seed mat, a germination heat mat. When you store it, don't wrap it up, maybe store it flat. I forget what size this is. But we put that underneath of each of these black things. And then because I'm a geek, I had my little heat gun. And I checked the soil temperature with my heat gun, and it was about 80 degrees, 85 degrees, and that's ideal for germination. Actually, the warmer the better, but probably nothing over, I would say, 90 degrees. So yeah, so you can read here, this is the seed mat. Heat mat, we don't need it now because they've since germinated. But when they were little seedlings, the house doesn't get that hot, 80 degrees. So you've got to create your own little tropical heat sun thing going on here. So what I did is I threaded one end on first and then looped my chain, and then looped the other one on and then looped it through. It takes a little bit of, you can lower and raise it. Just read the instructions when you do your seedlings. You have to lower the light. I think it's like 6 inches. There's some high light plants, tomatoes, peppers, low light plants. And then it says, obviously read the instructions. Okay, this is just to show the general operation. So here's the on-off switch here. Off, on. So you can do all these different colors. So that's off. That's white only, red only, blue only. So this is the initial setup. Once the lights come back on in the morning, we will adjust the coverage. And I daisy chain this. It's about center. I mean, if you really want to get exact, you can get a tape measure and measure it. It's about center. But yeah, I'm daisy chaining or piggybacking off of the first one. And I'm kind of looping the cord over a little bit so it doesn't tug on the light. I don't know if that makes sense. Kind of keeps it so it doesn't, so if this cord pulls, it doesn't yank on the light. It just, I don't know if that makes sense. It's kind of secure. Choices on how to cut this. You can use one of these handy dandy ratcheted PVC pistol grip pipe cutter. I'd highly recommend one of these if you're doing a lot of PVC. Basically how you do it. You have it just touch, just snug, and then you just twist it. And then you squeeze it a little bit more and twist it. Squeeze it a little bit more. It should spin with a little bit of resistance. And I'm just squeezing the trigger just a little bit more. You don't want to squeeze it a lot because it's going to be hard to turn. I'm just taking my time and squeeze a little bit. If it becomes real easy to spin, then squeeze a little bit harder. And then squeeze. It becomes easy, and then squeeze some more. And then it should eventually break through. It should get really easy and then break off. There we go. Broke off. Then release it. It's got a little handle on the back. Just release the blade. That is one way. That's my preferred way when I'm doing any PVC, just so that you'll see a little lip here. And I just deburr that with a file. So I just take it off and just deburr that and kind of, just so it fits in my end a little easier. Because I was doing a bunch of these, I use my grinder, which works, but unfortunately my grinder, I took too much as this off, and it didn't fit nice and tight in the fitting. So yeah, see, I just deburr a little bit and then it fits pretty tight. I just take off the edge a little bit with the file. I'm going to use a hacksaw. This is an old hacksaw. You would have to support this and put this in a vise right here. And then obviously you just proceed to cut it. You can hold this handheld.
and it'll work. It's just going to take forever. It's not bad, but if you had a vise to hold this in, you can hand hold it, but you see it just gets messy. So you can use, I've used this before, not my first choice cutter. And I'll show you that method as well. I wouldn't recommend this as much because it doesn't give you as much leverage. This is mainly for copper or for hard line, or for copper line, but it'll cut it. It's just not my preferred method. So you put it in the teeth, kind of like the same other system. The cutter is the little cutting wheel, and then you just turn it around. You can turn it, and then you just score it, and then you just keep turning it. See where we made a little, and then you tighten that and turn. And this is primarily for copper line. It will do plastic, but you really kind of have to turn on this nut, the adjustment nut, and it'll do it as well. I would not recommend this tool. This is for drip lines. It's a little package here. This is for drip lines. Little scissors. I would not recommend this to cut. Use these little Dixie cups, these little paper Dixie cups for the seedlings. And we use seed starting soil to begin with. And then once they get true leaves, then we upgraded those to the bigger. And then that's actually compost. Show you the compost. The Eco Compost. Forget how much it was at Home Depot. Actually, it only needed one. Then of course our shovel, and then here's our little Dixie cups. And so yeah, this is our little setup here, and it's best to have an assembly line. So somebody's making labels, and then the next person's, well, I guess 2 people or 3 people, however many people you have. Somebody's making labels and labeling the cups. Another person's filling the cups with dirt, and maybe a third person is putting the plants in the containers.